today we're going to have America versus Germany. Ideal 4-door saloons, loads of power, rear wheel drive. We're going to go out on a road test, run you through some specs. We could tell you about these two cars all day, but we know what you really want. You want to hear what they sound like, and then we're going to get them out onto the road. We'll talk you through some of their handling, some of their performance, some of the good and bad points, and the difference between the two. American cars. So this is going to be the drive of our Charger Hellcat. This particular car is 2015, runs a 6.2 V8 with a supercharger, made it an 8-speed gearbox. Well, you're definitely in for a treat because this is an absolute beast. Some people say it's strange being the left-hand side, but to be honest with you, when you've done it once, it's actually quite easy, because if you imagine whenever you're driving along here, you're actually closer to the curb, so it's nearly better for your road positioning because you're on the side that the curb's on, so I don't find it a major issue. The only thing some people do find an issue is whenever you're overtaken, but you need to have a trusty passenger. These cars make 500, but with this red key, they make 707. This car's thought to be in around 800 horsepower with a different size pulley, leg maker intake, and a catback system. So if we go into here, all your engine details come up. So it tells you how much horsepower, newton meters, torque, etc. using boost pressure. The best thing about this is this button. So we have straight, custom and track. Track is traction control right off. Really not advisable because this is a tire destroyer and I cannot tell you that enough. So we'll get a bit of heat into it, we'll put it into sport. We'll give it a bit of squeeze and see what the reaction is. So yeah, you can see the top speed it's been set on it is 183. Now, I don't know who would have done that, but obviously it's been on a private road. So, Mexico, yes. So, I think it's about time I give this thing a squeeze, just to let you see exactly what it's all about.
Really wrong, and with the supercharger, certainly from the passenger seat, it's a very linear power delivery. Like, that just pulled the whole way from when you put the foot down.
I like superchargers. Turbos are good, but with big power turbo stuff, you're always waiting on the bang, and when the bang comes in, it's like, oh, it's rear wheel drive and you're trying to steer and do everything. The superchargers, as you say, very linear power, and they build the power up towards the revs. So I do find it is a better for the big stuff like the V8s and stuff. The supercharger is good. I am a turbo lover, but I think with these it's definitely different. You know, people say, oh, it doesn't handle, it's American. Well, I beg to differ. For the size of this car, you got to remember, this is probably, is it the size of a 7 Series? It probably is.
Yeah, yeah.
The handling is good, it's stiff. This particular car is lowered on I-back springs. Obviously it's got a limited slip diff to put the power down. The gearbox, I'm sure you'll agree, for an American car, people say, oh, you know, their gearboxes, it feels smooth as anything you'll get into today that's high performance. The gearing's very good in it. They're very precise, it changes properly, and all that. So a couple of settings we have here. Sport setting, I call this the smoky section. This has traction control to certain bits, so I would say your traction control is 80% off, so you can come off, well, let's just say, we'll say like a track, if you're out at a track day, because obviously you wouldn't be doing it on the main road. If you're out at a track day and you come off a roundabout, you can literally have this thing completely sideways with smoke off the back tires, and it will actually help correct and brake as it's doing it, which is, I don't know how it does it, but the traction control settings are very good on it.
So is it correcting the rear wheels and the rear calipers
So
are kind of...
what it does is it sort of brakes the front brakes for you. So whenever it feels like it's getting out so far, or you're gathering too much speed, as this thing obviously can, it can brake and let you be in more control. So it's quite smart the way it works. A lot of the American stuff, Camaros, the Cadillac CTS-V, which we'll have coming up in one of our videos soon, it's one of our staff cars. A lot of those have this setting in them. So it will remind you of a sport mode in an AMG, or like
MDM mode?
An MDM mode, yeah, exactly like the M4 you would have had, Tom. So that's sort of idea. It sort of gives you that confidence to push it that little bit harder, but you know if it goes really wrong, it's going to help you out a bit. Now, it doesn't help you drive something like this, but it might just save you on that day where you need it, because look, let's face it, this is very high powered for our roads. There's not a lot of time you'll get to use the power, but it's nice to have it. And it's not only about having all that horsepower, it's about the way it delivers it as well.
No comment.
To be fair, it grips pretty decent. We did have this car at a drag day in my previous ownership last year. We run a set of drag pack wheels, so skinny fronts, big fat rears, Mickey Thompsons. Let's just say the last 3 runs, we couldn't get the power down. It was a non-prep track, and no matter what we done, it just wouldn't put it down. It's just one of them things when you have so much power to the ground. But I think you would all agree, even on the squeeze that we've given it today, it actually, for the power that it has, it puts it down pretty well. The Merc that we're going to be going to next, it's just vicious. Because it's twin turbo, so the power's coming on later, and when it comes on song, it is very impressive.
You were saying, Tom?
I don't know. We'll care.
You said it didn't feel as crashy as something German. They are quite soft, I agree with you. They feel quite, even though this is lowered, it feels very comfortable. You know, it's not where the M cars and the AMG cars can feel quite stiff. The steering probably wouldn't be as direct on this as the likes of an M car, but for me, that's nice.
Yeah, if you're going to daily drive this, you definitely could.
Yeah, 100%.
I've probably been in more than one car that's been lowered, let's just say, not how you should do.
Yeah, yeah, I think we've all been there.
No, it feels good, and I really like this view with the huge bulge in the bonnet. It makes you, and it's bright green as well.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel like you're in something properly beefy.
Yeah, it does make you, as you say, the bonnet there just is a big giveaway, and then just that, listen to the whine, listen to that half throttle, that whine is amazing.
It's a very distinctive exhaust note, I have to say.
Standard are quite loud, but I think the intake and the exhaust definitely helps give you the experience that you would expect to get in something like this.
And what about the reliability of something like this, Mark?
It's an American V8. Reliability is not a question. I think anybody, any proper car head or gear head is going to know that American V8s, you look at the amount of cars that they're put into, they just don't give trouble.
Proper engines?
Yeah, proper engines, properly built. The thing about them is because they're probably running a lot less horsepower than what they can. Like the V8s just don't give trouble. Would left-hand drive put you off?
If I could afford this car and keep it on the driveway for a Saturday, Sunday, as I say, when I'm going out with the family, it absolutely would not. I've driven plenty in Europe, all that, driven right-hand drive cars in Europe, never been an issue for me. So no, to daily drive, well, I do a lot of miles a week. I don't think I could fuel it for a start and make it worthwhile. It might get frustrating, but you don't know till you try as well.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, we'll maybe have to cut a wee bit of this video out, but yeah, this thing likes to bury tires. Being your first go on something like this, Tom, I'm sure you're impressed.
Well, look, I've never owned an American muscle car, and it's definitely on the bucket list.
Oh, and look what I have right over there.
Yeah, I know.
An American muscle car that could be on your bucket list.
One of those, I've just been so wrapped up in German cars for so long, it's really nice to get my eyes opened. And I've probably been quite traditional on my thoughts on American stuff. So I'm going to hop into a German car, and although they're not directly comparable, they're similar power. The C63 is obviously a wee bit smaller, but I'm actually really excited to see which one of these two I prefer.
I think it'll be a hard decision. I think, you know, if you were going to use it every day, it'll probably be the Merc because it's right-hand drive, it's a wee bit smaller, it's a wee bit easier to park. But I think, you know, if budget was to allow it, something like this is just loud. You take it out, every time you take this car out, you will get a smile. You get people taking pictures. You go to the petrol station, people are wanting to talk to you.
Petrol station
Yeah, you're there quite a lot. I'm not going to go into miles per gallon because let's face it, if you're looking at this, you know it's going to be low teens. The nice thing about it is too, it doesn't matter if you're 9 to 90, as I would say, everybody will appreciate what this is. Whether they like it or not is a different thing, but they will appreciate what it is because there's so little in this country, and it is that it's really good to have something really different. You know, the obvious things to go and buy, you know, is an M5, an M4, a 570 McLaren, you know, all that sort of stuff. This here, you're getting something really, really different and ultra reliable is the key. This thing's running probably close to 800 horsepower, and literally it will do that every single day of its life that it goes out. It doesn't need any special fuel. You can use pump fuel on it. You know, it just is really, really good all around. But yeah, I think Chris is going to take us out a run in this beautiful C63S. This is a different wicked beast altogether.
Okay guys, we've seen Mark in that mad Hellcat, absolutely lunatic machine. But here we're sitting in the C63S. Slight differences between the C63 and the S. First of all, you'll look on the outside, it has massive brakes. They're an upgrade as from the C63. The seats, which are obviously the AMG seats, they're sort of wing-backed, perforated as well. That's an extra also, and you get 40 more horsepower extra. But it's not just that with this car. This car is also water meth, stage 3, hybrid turbos, and it's an absolute animal. Obviously the noise is just, it's crazy. Not as loud as a Hellcat, but it would be up there, you know. So this is twin hybrid turbos, carbon intake, water meth. It has charge coolers as well, and it's extremely fast. Boost usually doesn't come in until about 3,500 revs, but when it does, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts as well.
Yeah.
What's your impression on that, Tom?
Completely different to the Hellcat. Both of them do want to shred tires, but again, it's pretty cold. It's been raining last night, so it's not completely dry. The noise is completely different, but that just comes at you as soon as they come on. And as you were telling me before, when it comes on, it comes on.
Yeah.
You better be ready.
yeah, it's mad. So this is just right normal, come on the boost.
It's a lot more vicious than the Hellcat, isn't it? This thing is trying to hurt you.
What do you think about that gear, Marky?
Oh, this thing is just trying to hurt you. This is an absolute animal of a car.
Again guys, you can see the big carbon a bit in the middle. It's the carbon pack on the inside and on the outside, and it has this lovely IWC clock here as well.
I'd like to take that out and put it in their bracelet.
Drive this normally, that's us assisting 60 mile an hour. It's cruising. Drop it down a couple of gears.
That is a quick car.
Very quick.
We've got Marky in the back. We're in for 1.5 more.
So there's a lot of money spent in this car. This car is over £20,000 spent on it. There's no corners cut, there's no cost cut. It's top of the range everything. all the supported mods are perfect for this car to make so in and around the 850 horsepower, and it's every bit of that, to be honest with you.
It's a different 800 horsepower plus than the Hellcat, isn't it? Because
Exactly.
This is vicious, you know, it's nothing, boost, trying to spin wheels,
Gear.
and gears,
Yeah.
and that is the way to control it. Whereas the Hellcat, because it's linear power, it just sort of seems to nearly, would I dare say the Hellcat nearly puts the power down better?
I would say so, yes. I would say so.
From here, it feels less squirrely, definitely.
Yeah.
What I would say from the passenger seat, that sort of stiffer suspension makes it feel sportier. The Hellcat, as I said, feels more linear from the passenger seat, obviously. But this, it's something to do with the dampening and it being that bit harder.
Bit more rigid, bit more, yeah.
Makes it feel a wee bit more aggressive, as well as that massive push from the turbos.
And also the water mess actually plumbs straight in. There's no buttons to push or anything like that. It just works as it should.
So it works off the ECU.
That's
then.
right, yeah.
This might be a stupid question, but it's something I've always wanted to ask someone. What is water meth? Where do you get it? What do you fill it up with? Where's the tank? All that sort of
Tanks in
stuff?
the boot. It's distilled water, and you can buy it. You know, you buy it online. Not numerous motorsport companies and stuff. You can get it off. Just top it up, and it sort of keeps your engine cool when you're going for it. You know, it gives you a bit more horsepower, cool the engine more of the horsepower.
I think it's pretty much to take intake temperatures down.
That's right, yeah.
Especially with these 4-litre V8s, the turbos run on top of the engine, so they can get quite warm. So I think the water meth is to keep everything nice and cool. I've had a few cars with meth in it, and I think that's the idea behind it. I don't think it's a needed thing, but it's more sort of just a safety thing, just to keep everything at the nice temperatures.
That's it.
Those crackles, you'd never get tired of
Nope,
those.
not at all.
Yeah, the noise in the back here is really good.
It is so much car for the money, and performance-wise, definitely comparable to the Hellcat in my eyes, but comparable on paper, but feeling-wise, completely
different.
Sound-wise, completely different.
And here you got standard leather and stuff. It's a bit more prestige and stuff, but you know, that's a Merc at the end of the day. You know, an AMG.
The sort of the German refinement, yet the ride is probably more what I'd expect in the Hellcat. It's kind of reversed.
Yes.
From the outside, very much looks like it's obviously beefed up compared to the standard C63 saloon or C-class saloon. But from the outside, you'd think the Hellcat would be really stiff, really focused, and it's kind of role reversal there almost.
The other thing about it too is they're sort of different price bands. So the Hellcat we've on at 65,995, which I think is in line because of low mileage and just the rarity of them. This car at 38 grand, you know, it's.
Well, there's over 20 grand spent in the car, so if you think about it like that, it's the money's been spent in the last sort of 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
if you
think this car has it's got a full Mercedes history up until the tuning's been done. So, and as Chris, as you just said, it's all been done the last 12 months. Like over £20,000 been spent in this car. Like the turbo, whenever the turbos were done, the turbo kit and all the support mods, it was over £10,000 alone. And so on end, this is sitting ready to go.
And you don't have to touch it. Anything you would do is already done to this car. You
Yeah.
can change a few visual, like wheels or something, it's not up to you, but everything else is done.
I think the front of this car's been PPF'd as well, protection film on it, so that'll keep the stone chips and things away, which is quite nice on a car like this as well.
It does look very, very clean, and I'm a big fan of all blacked out cars, stealth look, and this sort of ticks that box definitely.
Obviously, it's got a carbon wing mirrors, I'm sure you can see there as well, a front splitter, a rear diffuser, so it's slicked in carbon, not only on the inside, as I said before, but on the outside, which really looks really well.
If money was no object, and this is from first time out in both these cars, and first time out in anything like the Hellcat, I would take the Hellcat.
Yep.
For me, personally, I do love the Mercs. For the price difference, I'd probably take this one.
That's it. Both tick boxes at a different end of the scale, don't they?
I would agree. I would be, if this is all I had to spend on something performance, this is what I'd buy. But if I had the money to buy the Hellcat, it would be it just because of the exclusivity of having something different.
And you don't have to go to Texas to drive one or go and get one, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the other nice thing about it is, you go to a cars and coffee meet, look, a gearhead is going to buy either two of these cars. This car isn't going to be for the normal person who just wants a nice Mercedes or a nice car. This will be for somebody who is really into cars, so they're going to go to car and coffee meets. Listen, imagine turning up at one of the Cannonball runs or at one of those runs in a Hellcat. The attention is going to be madness. You know, everybody's going to be talking about it. That Hellcat will turn more heads than a Lambo, a Ferrari, or any of those, because I've had them all, and it really, you know, we people down at our branch taking pictures, kids taking videos and things. Lots of people, I think we were talking the other night, Tom, about the amount of people that have been talking about this car, hence why it's on this Friday's video. I actually think if we ever did get the use of a drag track or something like that, I think it would be a serious race, because I think when the Merc's trying to put the bar down, the Hellcat will be putting it down. But you know, if it was a race, who would have put my money on? I actually don't know. It's a totally different beast. But yeah, I think the luxury of the Merc is really, really nice inside, and I think that's where it stands out for me. Just interior, and this car it's just as good as it gets.
The seats are unreal, unbelievable. That's us heading back to base here soon.
Say, you're lucky. Well, no, you're not lucky. I'm lucky this isn't the estate, because if it was,
you'd be owning it. Without
driving it, it'd be coming home.
Yeah.
Serious car.
See, there's some rubber there on the ground that's been left by something high powered rear wheel drive maybe earlier today.
No idea who that could be.
Can I just push this actually and put it in its sort of soft setting? Just what's that? Is that right?
That's right, yes.
Comfort? Yeah.
That's on comfort now.
So it
we can go to Tesco's and do the shop now.
It definitely makes it big. You know, sometimes there's a marginal difference. I'm not just saying this, but it just...
You can feel it straight off. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It's so much softer.
Yeah.
Not all of it's softer.
One thing it's not soft is... We've had both cars out on the road now. Our Hellcat is available on our online, 16,000 miles, 2015. It's in around 800 horsepower. As you can see, 65,995.
Okay guys, here we have it. C63s, 38,995. A lot of horsepower for the money. Available today. Deposit from 5 grand to 10 grand, it's up to yourself, and we'll have over 30 lenders.
Well, this concludes our Super Saloon section for this week. Remember to tune in every Friday at 6 on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, please share with your friends. We'll want to push this, we'll want to keep doing it. I'd like to thank Tom for helping us out with all the videos. He's going to be part of this. Moving on, just part of some of the reviews. Next week we're going to have Japanese week, and I'll tell you now, we have 3 very different Jap cars. One of them is one of only 350 in the world, and we've got a couple of other things as well. So look, keep tuned in, keep on TikTok, keep on Facebook. Please share and subscribe, and we'll be back next Friday at 6.
A lot of horsepower for the money.
38,995.
What did I say?
28,995 be a bargain.
There you go.
I'll take it for 28,995.